Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 13 Week 7 Day 2. So today, of course, we got ourselves one of the best factions to farm in the entire game. City of Thieves. So one thing that's really nice about it is that every treasure room is one room away, meaning if a tier 2 happens to be a Cedric, is this one? No, it's not. But if it happens to be a Cedric, you can take it immediately and have the bonus throughout the entire delve, gaining a very high amount of gold bonus. And one of the reasons why it's so good. The other reason being it has 2 tier 5s. This does mean you require having to go through 1 tier 5 like the one we had last weekend. However, it's not too bad. You have 2 different choices, so you don't have to go down the harder one if you don't want. There's 3 guaranteed treasure rooms, the one all the way to the bottom, the one all the way to the left, and the one all the way to the top. And then there's 2 other rooms over here that could be treasure rooms, could not be treasure rooms, just kind of standard rooms, same as the 2 tier 5s. But yeah, it has 3 guaranteed treasure rooms, all of which 1 room away from starting room, meaning, yeah, a lot of loot if you get a Cedric. But we'll be going through those pretty much normally, just killing through them. Probably just Rowan quick kill, as we do have access to standard Rowan, as well as quite a few things. We have access to blue, purple, if I'm not mistaken. So quite a few options. Of course, we still have the world event going on, the Song of the Sands. And basically just don't take Blade Dancer. And actually, yeah, we could just start here if we really want to. You know what? We're already in menu, might as well. It's not going to take that long as far as how many battles we have. So we're actually going to start here, since we can help out the guild. Anyways, hello everyone! Hello Tyrion! Hello Isabel! Hello Joyful Dragonfly! Hello Lester! Hello Ricardo! Hello Imperial! Hello Supernova! Hello everyone else! Welcome, welcome, welcome! And of course we also got them St. Patrick's Day things. I don't think we had those yesterday, did we? I don't think so. Actually, when is St. Patrick's Day this year? I actually completely forget the exact date. Actually, is it today? No, it's 14th. Today's Pi Day, isn't it? When is, because 3.14 blah 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 blah, whatever the whole number is, I don't remember the whole thing. So the 14th of March is normally Pi Day. These are the first 3 digits of pi. The other pi. The number pi, not the pi. You know, not the standard pi. Not the edible pi. Though I feel like this holiday is used more for the edible pi than the actual number. Even though it's based on the number, not the actual consumable object. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Sushi Ninja. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, 17th. Okay, so that's this weekend then. Ooh, wait, is that this Friday? It is. This Friday, St. Patrick's Day. That's pretty cool. I don't think I'm doing anything special for it. I think I'd never celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Though who knows? Maybe I'll go out to eat for once. I haven't gone out in like such a long time. There has to be some place running some kind of deal for St. Patrick's Day. I'm not gonna drink, of course. But, you know, some place might have some kind of good food deal on St. Patrick's Day. Let's see. We'll throw that down. I've been out like so absurdly little since the pandemic. Like maybe like a few times total since like 2019. Let's see. Or I should say early 2020. That Valraven's a little scary there. I don't have any way to deal with it immediately. I really wish this thing Fairy Fire burned on cast. The fact that it doesn't make it so bad. There's so many times where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to cast it and get the guarantee Fairy Fire. And then I realize, oh, he doesn't Fairy Fire on cast like the other one does. It's so annoying. Like, that's the easiest thing they could do to make him, like, somewhat less useless. Just add Fairy Fire on cast. Obviously, it wouldn't apply to his initial cast, but it would apply to every cast after. It just makes it so much more consistent to have it on the troops. If you don't get all the extra turns you need, which often you do not, unless you have a team really structured around it. Wish they would keep the theme gems. Oh yeah, I've been mentioning that for years now, and I'm surprised they haven't done such a thing. I really want customizable gems. It's something I'm very surprised they haven't made customization for. They just most recently, of course, started to do customization for your outfits again, where they're starting to add new outfits. We have a really cool one coming for Easter, too. I showed it the other day on stream, and yeah, we got 2 really cool outfits. Well, technically it's 1, but you know, there's a male and female version. And the reason I say 2 is the male and female version actually look drastically different. It's not like copy-paste same outfit. It is 2 completely separate outfits. You know, thematically they look the same, but everything in every other way they look nothing alike, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, we need more like that for like hero classes, for the thing I'm actually trying to talk about, which I already forgot the whole reason why I even tangented onto this. Wait, why was I mentioning this? Because I was mentioning... Oh yeah, the gems. I'm so surprised they haven't allowed us to have custom gems yet. They already have so many programmed into the game, but they only run for specific holidays. We have officially hit the 30 battle mark, though we don't really have that many more battles to use. So at this point, as soon as we hit a wall with all Blade Dancer, it's going to stay like that forever now, as we are now at the 31st battle. Yeah, there's so many cool ones they could do. Like, obviously, right now, we have two different ones. The little St. Patrick's Day little clover thingy, the 3-leaf clover, and a little leprechaun thingy for the skulls. But there's no way to ever change them when you're, you know, when it's not an event. You don't have any way to just, like, accumulate them over time, have a bunch of different custom ones, and go from there. There's so many things they could do for it, too. Obviously, they could start with all the holiday ones they already have and just release those. And then from there, you know, they could just do whatever. There's so many options you could do with elemental gems. And you don't have to do anything, like, too crazy, but, you know, something to change them. It's kind of funny, because way back in the day, you actually used to be able to change your files within the game to make them anything you want. And, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Like, you could change them to literally anything. Obviously, you can't do that anymore. Not even close. But, there was a time, like, the first year and a half, almost 2 years of the game, you could literally just go into the files of the game, replace it with a proper PNG, and then, boom, it would just replace the assets with whatever you wanted. And then you could change all the gems to anything you wanted. It was pretty cool. But you can't do that anymore. You can't change them to anything, not even to past holiday ones. And they already have like 20-something, 30-something assets for it without even making a single new one. I'm just really surprised they haven't brought it as an actual feature. The closest we have is you could toggle them on and off when it is a holiday. So if you don't want them right now, you can, where is it? Somewhere's in all this mess. Where? Graphics. Yeah, festive themes. You can apply it and turn them off. And now we don't have any special skulls. They're just normal skulls. And of course we always keep it on. There we go. Alright, we're doing good. Hey, we got a verse 2. Unfortunately, that's not the one I really need these days. Need verse 3 a lot more. We got so lucky on verse 2. It has done a complete 180 on the number of copies we have relative to how many we need. Also, did I just cut some of the audio off when I went in that menu? Does it feel like when the audios are missing? Am I going crazy? Wait. Did I accidentally just cut the audio when I was in that menu? I think I did. General. I think I did. Let me just make both of them higher. Is my master volume down? No, it's the same. Why does it seem so much quieter today? Anyways. Because I listened for a couple of those audio cues for a couple things in the game. Ah, there we go. Anyways, so in other news, let's go and mess with the faction event. So of course we're going to just use standard Rowan. I am going to change hero class though. I used it as Archer just because it's a nice one for the Storm. However, you know what we're going for. We still need Spirit Walker EXP. I was even almost going to consider showing in the video. I didn't bother though. But a lot of people might still need EXP for it. I know we do. A lot of people probably already maxed out. But this will be a great time to get some EXP for it. Because it doesn't hinder this team at all, and we get 2 XP per battle. Oh wow, we're already pretty much the correct team. Does it even matter if we paste over it? It's pretty much the same team, just with a different hero class at this point. But there we go. It has been done. I don't think we can change anything other than armor, but I don't want to do that because then it won't save my team. One thing you should always make sure to do, even if you want to go change your banner setup, which we do right now, is always make sure you confirm in your first battle. Otherwise, if you leave this menu without confirming in, it'll default back to whatever your previous team was, or none if you didn't have one set. And you're basically just going to have to set everything over again, which is not ideal. So like right now, it'll save our team when we come back. But if we didn't do that battle, it would have reverted back to whatever it originally was. And I want to go set the armor real quick. We don't need it quite yet, but I want to have it just so when we do need it, we'll have the stats. Also, out of curiosity, do I have City of Thieves at 200 or 155? Let me double check. Yeah, it is at 200. Honestly, I kind of want to get every faction to 200. There's so many that we got to like 155. Let's just have a good number of 200s. 200. I say that. Every single one I've clicked on so far has been 200. There it is, 156. I don't think I have a single 100 left. Another 200. 155. 175. That's a weird one. Wait, why was that at 170? Oh, because it's all seen eye. Another 200. Yeah, I think we're going to make that a goal at some point. Not right now. Though we do have the gold to do it right now if we really wanted to. Just not sure if we have the treasure. Yeah, we have. I don't think we have a single 100 faction left. They've all been raised to either 155 or 200, pretty much. Though we do have one 250 or something, or 225 off of that one. I don't think we have a single 100 left. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I need to get base 200 at some point. It's not too big a deal, but It's nice to have just so our stats are a little bit more standardized across all the days. Oh! Mirrored Halls is only at 100. I found my 1/100. Oh, we need to go change that. This, I think, is the only faction I have that's at 100. Literally the only one, because every other one's at 155 because of the double magic there. Or higher. Oh no, there's another one. Primal Rift. Okay, so there's two of them then. Primal Rift and Mirrored Halls, for whatever reason, only 100. I went... Oh, sorry, the third one. Frostfire Keep. Gosh, we got 3 slacking factions over here. Yeah, they're my only 3 that aren't 155 plus. And eventually I just want to 200 them all. Oh no, Dark Pits as well. And Felroost at 134. What a weird number. So let's just say 5, because Felroost is pretty much at 100 as well. Okay, interesting. Anyways. The more you know. I need to go upgrade those at some point. Not right now, though. It would take too long. We'd be here for like a half an hour upgrading them. Might even just do it off stream at some point. Who knows, maybe we'll put it into some stream when it's when we don't have as much going on one day. Because it's going to be like a half a stream, full stream project if we do that on stream. Getting every faction to like 155 and then eventually to 200. I don't think we're going to do it to 200 quite yet, though. Especially if we have so many still at 100. Since we have basically 3.5 still at 100s. 314 backwards is also pi. Oh, that is true. I never noticed that. I have never noticed that. Oh, so hello, George. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Emernator. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Andrew. All's been well. But yeah, this place is pretty good for loot. Obviously, you tend to save the treasure rooms for last, unless there's a Cedric, in which case you can really cash out on the faction. It's one of the reasons why this faction is so good for loot. If you can get a Cedric as one of your first 3 and have a gold farming troop, in this case we slightly do, we have Leprechaun, you can cash out a lot of extra gold that way, as you get that 400% bonus on every single room. Keep in mind, it does not influence the static gold reward that you get. The one that you get, like, let's say the number says you get 800 gold for doing this battle. It doesn't affect that number. But it does affect the amount of gold that you see in the top left there within a battle. And what I mean is it doesn't affect this 1,000. But what it does affect is this number right over here. This 0 out of 100, which is going to be a 0 out of 500 if you have the Cedric thingy. That it does affect. And your other multipliers still apply to that as well. And after casting Leprechaun and other things that give you gold, if you're going all in, even a Greed, you can gain a lot extra loot, and you can scout for that preemptively too, as I believe Greed is doable here. Yeah, it is, because it's blue-purple. So you can end up going down the Greed option, and kind of go like a double Cedric Greed one-shotter kind of situation, and then maximize the amount of gold. And you can know before you go into the place as well, because you can just check all the tier 2s. Tier 2 is the only room where Cedric can end up appearing, so you simply just check the tier 2, and then you know from there if it is or is not a possible room. And then click on all the tier 2s, see if they are Cedric, and if they are, you switch your team to a gold farm team. Otherwise, you just do it normally, kind of like how we're doing it right now. And it's one of the strategies for City of Thieves. And of course, keep in mind, if you are permanently keeping this at level 20, do not go past this battle that we're doing right now. Because if you're permanently keeping at 20, doing this battle will set you beyond that point forever. So yeah, make sure not to do that. Let's see. So yeah, like right here, we could check any tier 2s. Like this could be a Cedric, it isn't. But you could check those, see if they are, and if they are, go to gold farming team. Who knows, maybe we'll even do that once, so it will make our wins quite a bit slower. But we could. I might go like single Greed and go like one-shot weapon, Greed, Leprechaun, Cedric, or something like that. Because that would allow us to get a lot of gold and still win relatively quickly. The only problem with that is we'd kind of need a half mana start hero class. Oh wait, never mind. Doesn't, I keep forgetting. Spirit Walker does have half mana start. I keep forgetting that it actually does. Yeah, never mind. You can naturally have a 50% on it. So yeah, that wouldn't even be an issue then. You've gotten 5 wands compared to 1 Empress? Oh gosh. I'm not sure how many Empresses I've gotten, but I got back-to-back on both of them. I got a wand and Empress within 2 Volkies. Like, we went dry on them for a while, and then we got both of them simultaneously. It's pretty funny. Back-to-back. Like, literally back-to-back keys. We opened one key, then the other one was in the next. I'm not sure what my ratio has been between them, though. But realistically, you don't really need more than double Empress. Like, I can't think of a single situation where triple Empress would be needed. Unless there was eventually something that could scale, like, infinite green. Well, there already are things that scale infinite green, but you know what I mean. like Infinite Green will still be in triple blocked while not needing anything else. It's very unlikely to ever occur. Closest things we have to that now are like Truffle and Web Spinner, but Web Spinner wouldn't be a last slot option. And Truffle would be triple blocked if it was in that kind of team. I guess double Empress can kind of work. Triple, just a little too far though. So not any need to get more than 2. Also hope all has been well, Draco. Welcome, welcome. If anyone has any question or anything you want me to go over, do let me know. Also going to be messing around with Faction today. Yeah, after this, obviously go to the Volkies and see if we can get anything shiny. I still haven't gotten more codes from Kafka yet, by the way. So we are limited to the 1 code per day. And that will give us exactly enough till Sunday, which is hopefully when she'll be giving me more codes. Because that's the exact time I'll run out. Maybe she knows. She's been stalking us. She'll give us codes exactly on Sunday. Which is kind of funny because that might actually happen. Not because she was, but because it's the most likely date for her to actually do so. Based on their schedule. I said, hello, Jonian. Welcome, welcome. I forget, based on the roadmap, what are we getting next month? I actually completely forget now. Because they did a roadmap a little while back. And I always keep thinking of like the Adana one being soon. But I don't think that's until like May or June. Like it feels like that's almost like the next thing that's happening, but they're actually doing something else before then. I can't remember what it was though. Of course, most recently we had that one treasure update. Oh, did we get any tier 2s here? Too late to change our team, no. But gosh, we're not getting any Cedrics. I can't even show it. Yeah, okay, Adana is May. Yep, 2 more months right around the corner. I'm really curious to see what they do with that. Adana's been needing a rework for such a long time. It hasn't been needed for a very, 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 very long time. And soon we'll be getting one. Though, if it'll be for the better or for worse, we don't know yet. The 2 biggest concerns, of course, is what happens to Tesla and Ironhawk. To some degree, Tina 9000, though realistically, anything they do to change the kingdom will be an improvement to Tina 9000, not a nerf. Because as mechs have more synergy, Tina 9000 gains a bigger benefit from it compared to most other mechs. Like, Ironhawk getting better synergy does not improve it much, whereas Tina 9000 getting better synergy improves it by a very large margin, due to how its stats work and its ability works. Exotically enough, Ironhawk does not have good mech synergy. It's one of the reasons you never build it into pure mech teams. In all fairness, it doesn't really have like barely any kind of team synergy. But particularly with mechs, it tends to lack any kind of synergy. Whereas Tina 9000 has perfect synergy. Mechs in general are very bulky armor-related things. And everything it does is an improvement on that. That either utilizes them for durability or for damage output. And often both simultaneously, which is really nice. Like, Tina 9000 is one of the few examples of something that properly uses the armor stat. Of course, Rowena is as well. There are a few examples of armor used right in this game. Armor's a very weird stat in Gems of War. Because on paper, it is a just definitively worse HP value. But depending on the context of every cast that we have within the game that's meta, it can become less or more viable. But by default, just as its sheer value, it is always considered worse than HP. Just in the fact that HP protects you against true damage and other various direct damage, whereas armor does not. Meaning, at least initially, HP is always better. But that's not always the case because there's a lot of boost ratios, there's a lot of abilities, there's a lot of other things within the game that utilize armor. And many of those utilize armor better than they utilize HP. It'd be cool if you see some better HP boost ratios. I think it's something that's fallen off a little bit over time. Mostly because it was really broken when the game first came out, so I guess they were kind of hesitant to really mess with it too much. And then just over the years, they just never really bothered adding any. But we could really use some better HP boost ratio troops. Also, I just realized we have Guarantee Cedric. You can tell because we have 3 tier 2s, and if I'm not mistaken, there's only 3 total tier 2 rooms. There's the Leprechaun room, the Mimic room, and the good old Cedric Sparkle Sack. So whenever you see this, you actually want to take it first, not last. We're not going to be able to utilize it too much because I didn't bother changing to a proper gold team, but we can utilize it by using Leprechaun. We won't see it on this battle, but we'll see it on every subsequent battle, where we are going to be getting a lot of extra gold. So you see right there, we got 33 out of 100 gold. and this resulted in an end gold of 602. Well, pay attention to that 602 value after this fight, because it'll be very much higher than 602. As you can see right out here, we have a 0 out of 500. And a single leprechaun will get us to 100 gold. Make that 130 after the extra turn. And we go for our one shot. And let's see. We were originally getting 600. What are we getting now? We are getting a 840. Wait, only 849? Wait, do you really have to max gold to really get that much value out of it? Apparently. I used to back in the day. I don't these days. But never mind. It was only like a 200 something gold difference. But if you did get the full 500, that would be something like a 6, 7, 8-ish hundred difference. Because, of course, all your other bonuses apply to it, too, so maybe more than that. But, yeah, still a sizable amount of gold, nonetheless. It adds up. You're getting every fight as well. Plus all those other multipliers apply to it, too. Alright, oh, throw that down. Good, no revive. Great to see. April is 6.9 update, Tricks and Traps. I'm still wondering what that is. It sounds like an Underworld update. But I don't know. I thought the other one was going to be a treasure hunt rework, and it was not even remotely close. Though in all fairness, it wasn't a bad update. But it wasn't a treasure hunt rework. Like, when expecting a treasure hunt rework, it was slightly disappointing. But in the whole scheme of things, honestly, I kind of like the previous patch. Are we doing RuneScape tomorrow? Yes. It's probably going to be a Wednesday thing going forward for a while now. And we're almost out of early game in that game, too. We can almost start playing the game. We've been playing it kind of like in the background for, what now, a month? Almost a month and a half? And we can almost start playing the game at that point. We're probably going to do a bunch of questing, too, to keep it a little bit more interesting. Because last stream, we kind of got bottlenecked into doing the same activity over and over again because we got very bad RNG. So we're just going to do a ton of questing. I might even do the quest for the sequel quest that they're doing this year, Desert Treasure. It's one of the more, I wouldn't say the more iconic quests in the game, but it's getting a sequel this year. I would say the most iconic is Dragon Slayer. And they did do a sequel of Dragon Slayer 2. Which we are far away from ever being able to do at the moment. Oh yeah, what was the other question? Someone else asked something. Let's see if the lizard used to create the 5 red gems, now that it creates fire gems 3. Yeah, that fire lizard got nerfed when they did Broken Spire rework. It was very unfortunate. He went from creating 7 red gems to creating 3 burning gems or whatever it was, which is a huge nerf to his overall viability because he can no longer like infinite loop on the thing anymore, which is not ideal, but I don't know, it's not that big of a nerf, but still a nerf. Yeah, trap sounds like dungeons. Oh, yeah, dungeons. Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know. Dungeons kind of already got an update pretty recently. I highly doubt they would update something that's already been updated in the last year. Though in some cases they needed to. Like, Arena definitely needed an update, like, literally days after the Arena update. Oh, yeah, Isabel. I never did get it from that. Even when I did a few more off-stream, like a few dozen more, I still never got one. Though there's a different enemy that we might try to kill, maybe not next stream, but the stream after next stream. That should hopefully drop it. Because that's one of the few things we need to get out of early game in that game. It's like nearly the equivalence of getting a good mythic in Gems of War. As far as how much it would open up. Though one thing nice about Gems of War is you never need best in slot to function. Like, you can always do underpowered stuff. Like, this team we're using right now, super easy to obtain. You can obtain this within your first week of playing Gems of War. And you can literally run it the entire game and never stop using it. And it will still be efficient. It might not be the most efficient thing in the game, but it will never stop being efficient, this team. Because you can't do that in a lot of other free-to-play games, or games in general. Because there's a lot of things in Gems of War that you could obtain within the first couple days, first week, first month, that you can literally just run the whole game and never stop using. It'll still be just as viable as it was day one. And Rowan's definitely in that category. Maybe not the whole team setup, but Rowan herself, you can get within your first, like, 5 hours of playing. If you go straight for Forest of Thorns. There's not any kind of energy system in the game, because back in the day, for the first year of Gems of War, there was almost like a pseudo-energy system, Because every battle costs gold, and gold was a lot less common than it was today. So there was like a little bit of an energy system, not in that there was an energy system, but that gold was very limited. So it acted as like a pseudo energy system, which has now been removed, that whole system. So newer players can kind of grind as much as they want. I think the biggest wall that tends to happen, like when you first start out, is just some content getting slightly higher statted than you. Which can be a problem for the first couple days if you just keep playing endlessly. There's just a lot of daily loot that you get that kind of pushes you forward a lot more. Compared to if you were just grinding for straight hours. You're trying to figure out your 28th mythic worth upgrading? Or assume that's what you mean by troop. Yeah, it used to be something like 50 gold per battle. It's actually one of the reasons why Arena costs 1,000 gold. It's actually the only gold sink that was kind of kept in the game from those original ones. That and guild tasks. But guild tasks have been reworked several times since then. But as far as original gold sinks in the game, they're kind of the only two that are still remaining. Are guild tasks plus, gosh, what's it called? Guild tasks plus, Arena. There's not that many things sink gold. The only newer one that kind of does, of course, the entirety of Underworld. Obviously merchants and other things that you can kind of spend a little bit of gold on. A lot of them are a lot more optional. Whereas, you know, needing gold to fight a battle or unlocking a kingdom. Oh yeah, unlocking kingdoms. That's still left over from that. That's a very old leftover mechanic. From when it was kind of gold walled. Because the main trifecta that did it in the past was like Arena costing the 1,000, every battle costing like 50-ish, and then every kingdom costing incrementally more, up to 4,000 cap. But now those gold numbers basically are 0. Plus the gold per battle plane is just completely removed. Oh yeah, 50 gems to change class was so annoying. I actually completely forgot about that until people mentioned it the other day when we were talking about it. Actually, wasn't that last night? But it was a couple days ago, whatever it was. But, yeah, that was so insufferable. I almost forgot how bad it was back when you had to wait either an entire week to switch your hero class or spend 50 gems. Eventually, it was brought down to 1 day. Or else you would have to spend 50 gems if you wanted to do it more in 1 day. And eventually, of course, what it is now, you can infinitely change your hero class for no cost. As well as set any hero class to any team. It would be nice if someone had a mythic tier list. I know, I still plan on doing that soon. Soon, TM. The way I've wanted to do that video has changed so many times. I just need to sit down and record it one day. Hopefully this weekend. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Guild Wars it was really bad for. Because you basically had to run... it really centralized the meta of having to just like only use Titan or whatever was strongest at the time. Actually, I think Archer was the strongest at the time. Because before we had the 10 traits on hero classes, Archer actually had the best 3 trait setup. It had a 15% insta-kill and a 50% mana start. Which, based on 3 possible traits, made it the best 3-traded troop at the time. Obviously, these days that'd be Elementals if it existed back then, though it didn't. But, yeah, it was the best 3-trait troop at the time. Or, hero class, I mean. So Archer got used a lot. Like, I would say, like, 80-90% of the time is hero class. Especially since you could only change once every week. Yeah, we do need to play Breath of the Wild at some point. I want to do a little bit closer to, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, maybe the month leading up. Because one thing we're going to be doing a lot next month, in probably early May. Actually, when is Tears of the Kingdom coming out again? Let me double check. Because we're going to be playing a lot of Mega Man soon. Let me go check Google. Let me check something. Tears of the Kingdom. Release date. Ooh, that comes so close to Gosh, why must everything come out at the same time? Let's see. That's only a 1 month difference between the two. We can't run every Mega Man game within 2 weeks. That's not possible. It'll take like 1 week per game. Because they're kind of long. Like, let's say Mega Man Battle Network 3 length. I'm pretty sure it's going to say 30 hours. 23 hours each. Completionist playthrough 63 hours, yeah. And you could easily spend more than that if you really wanted to. Yeah, my estimate was actually pretty correct. It's just for the main story. Obviously, there's a lot to do after. Like, literally 3 times as much if you count it that way. So my number was pretty accurate. But that's like per game. And something like a 24-hour storyline, that's at least 3 streams. Not to mention any post-game, if we'd bother with any. Like, that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend right there. And that's just for 1 of the 6 games. Also, a couple of them have 2 versions. I'm probably not going to play both of the 2 versions because they have a lot of similarities. But they do have a few different bosses. I do recall that. A few different chips, a few different bosses, a few different storyline beats, actually, oddly enough. It still ends in the same story. But, like, your progression through the story is, like, slightly different. Which is always kind of interesting. Because they actually changed it up, last I recall, like, at least a somewhat decent amount for the storyline. Like, it still followed, like, the same overall premise, obviously. But it changed up enough to make it feel, like, unique. I feel like a lot more so than what Pokemon does. Because, of course, they were kind of taken from Pokemon at the time. With, like, the whole double version thing. So they could basically, like, double sell the same game. Obviously, when you're buying in a bundle, that's not going to be the case. But back in the day, they were kind of trying to do the same thing that Pokemon was doing. Where they released, like, 2 versions of every single game. I think they only did that for, like, 2 or 3 of the Mega Man series. I think it was 4, 5, and maybe 6 all had 2 versions instead of 1. But then again, 3 might have been the first one that did it. Because I think that might have been the one that did white and blue. Let's see. 3 classes left? Nice. Hopefully you get them all soon. After all this time, you ran the Spider Mother of Darkness team post-nerf. Yeah, it is so bad after the nerf. I wasn't expecting to get so hit. But it reminds me a lot of how gem spawning changed when they did the change. Back to when double spawns were completely reworked. Because back in the day, when you spawned, let's say, like, blue and skulls. Or any combination of 2 things. They would get clumped up very often due to how the game was coded. And then they nerfed that to the ground. And then they were never used again. Or, like, barely ever. And it kind of happened the same thing with Spider. Where now they changed it to a power gem. And because of the way that power gem works, it has even lower chance of landing alignment. Because it can also overwrite other purples. Because it's a purple power gem, but it can also overwrite other purples when you spawn it. Which makes, yeah, Giant Spider just got way overly nerfed. Which is kind of sad. It was a pretty fun team. Oh, an ingot. Oh, another one for the pile. Cool. Anyways, let's go do dungeons real quick, hand out a code. And I guess we are going to be key grinding then. Oh, yeah, I haven't done the Decidueye event thingy. Is that going on this weekend? Actually, now that I think about it, it's probably going on right now. Oh, no, never mind. It'd be Thursday, probably. But yeah, that's going on this weekend, isn't it? I'll need to do that at some point. I'm not sure if we're going to stream it. Though, in all fairness, I haven't streamed that Pokemon game in a while now. And I'm starting to get, like, slightly out of Pokemon again. Until we eventually get back in. Though I still need to go do that event. We got it for Decidueye. Anyways, what we're doing. Let's go clear out dungeon. Anything good? That's very bad. Oh, it might be to guess that door day, though. No, we got poisoned. Ah, we got other trapped. At least they're not annoying. It's just 20% less stats and poison. That's not that bad. Compared to everything that can happen, those are some of the more mild ones. Though 20% stats can do a good number on you. Yeah, there's 2 games we haven't streamed in a while. Fall Guys, which I haven't even touched in like 2 months. As well as, what was the other one? Pokemon. Which we haven't streamed anything even Pokemon related in like a month. I don't know, I got like really back into it for a year. And now, I don't know. I think it was just slightly disappointing, the state in which Gen 9 launched in. Because it was launched in a very, very bad state. Like, still fun, but gosh, was it rushed out. It definitely took away from the overall experience, so I did have a lot of fun with it, though. I'll still probably play the special events. I actually didn't bother doing that at all, the entirety of Sword and Shield. And they probably have data on showing that a lot of people didn't. But I'm pretty sure they have a lot more people doing it now that they made it more special. Because now whenever they do a special event, it actually feels like something. Back when they were doing it for Sword and Shield, it was just like, oh, you just catch something that already exists. Just a little bit earlier or something similar. But the ones in the most recent game actually feel quite a bit more special. They're also more challenging. So it's not like you just go in, instantly kill it, and go out. You still can do that. But it's a lot harder, too, compared to in the past. It's like, it's actually more of a challenge compared to before, which they did pretty good. Like, that was structured decently. I'm trying to find an extra turn. There has to be one on this board. So it's not worth trying to take our time to try to figure out where it is. I just don't think there was one, though. Oh, it's out there somewheres. I will go hand out a code, by the way, after we go clear this out. And I do have to limit to 1 code per stream until we get more from Kafka. Which hopefully we'll have soon. I'm gonna go start queuing it up right now because the other computer's probably being a little slow right now. Actually, my internet connection has been very dodgy today. I'm not sure what's been up with it. But it's been like cutting in and out. I'm surprised this stream hasn't done that yet. We haven't dropped a single frame. But it was doing that a ton earlier today. It kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm not sure what it was. I like restarted my router, restarted the computers, restarted like everything. And it was still doing it. Which is weird because now that I'm streaming, it hasn't happened a single time. I guess it's rather lucky. I don't know, maybe a lot of people were just using it during the day or something, I'm not sure. Oh, it's not a holiday or anything. Next holiday is not till this Friday. But anyways, here you guys go. Here's the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com. Underneath the game code section, your invite code is found in your settings menu. Redeem code is right over here, or your invite code is whatever your game says right over there in the bottom left corner. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Same thing, or not same thing as always, but the thing starting with X9. And it gives same thing as always, 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,000 Roger gold. Enjoy everyone. And definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. Anyways, rest of the stream, you know what we're doing. It's Volky time. Let's go open a ton of these. We'll do Phoenicia build. Let's consider something else. I kind of want to get more class XP, but I don't want to slow down our team to get more class XP. Like, we're eventually going to max it out. I'm not in any rush to get it all the way. I can't wait till we can start using Diamantia build. I have so many teams planned to start messing around with. And we get to soon. We are in the final stretch. We need, like, what, 1,000 something? Actually, I think it's almost exactly 1,000. Yeah, pretty much. Or, sorry, not 1,000. I mean 900, I meant to say. But, yeah, 907. We are, like, right there. Oh, huge congrats, Supernova. Oh, you're almost there. 5 more to go. Hopefully you'll get there soon. Probably could in the next week, depending on how much you grind. Or next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's keep Volkeen down. Don't think we need to change anything else. Just good to go. Anything in the orb? Nah, just a purple. It's so weird seeing purple as like a bad orb. Purple is the equivalent of almost 135 gems worth of gem keys. It's not bad. I have like infinite keys at this point. So seeing a key drop is like nothing. I almost want to stop buying those like good bundles that are actually pretty good value for like 300 gems. Where you get a bunch of gem keys, event keys, and glory keys. Because even though it's really good value for the average account, we're actually at such a point where we lack the need for keys that I'd actually rather have the several hundred gems every time to use on other things that are going to waste our gems, like what are they called? The deeds. Like spending thousands just to try to get a deed book. Because that's actually viable now. I don't feel like it's as bad of a resource lost going for them now. Back when you have to spend like 7,500 gems for deed book, that was like way too high. But now you spend way less. They're basically 50 gems per deed, coming out to 2,500 per deed book. which is like still high, but you know, it's not that bad. 2,500 for a full deed book. Wait, I did the math right on that? Yeah, 2,500. Yeah, it sounds weird, but yeah, it's that low. Like, that's still a high number, obviously. 2,500 is not a small amount of gems. But compared to what it was, it's a very small amount of gems. In the best case scenario, it's like 3 times cheaper. Not exactly 3 times cheaper, but roughly. Because if you were buying it at maximum price compared to what it is now, it would have been 3 times cheaper. So sometimes you got them on sale, you know, up to like 25% off or something similar, 10% from Arena. That is quite a savings. There's a reason why I've been going for most of them. I have been skipping on some colors, but I have been taking every single one that has been blue, green, or purple. Green because of Magic Kingdom, purple because of Magic Kingdom, and blue because it'll actually be the first 30-star kingdom will be a blue one. Actually, it's happening next week, right? Swords Edge? Oh, sorry, not next week. The week after next week. 2 Mondays from now will be the first 30-star kingdom ever to be added to the game, which I was not expecting until like 2025. And they're already pulling it in 2023. I'm very surprised. Which makes me think they're going to extend the star system at some point. Because if they're already going for the first 30-star, they're definitely extending the star system to like 35 or 40 at some point. There's currently only enough room to do 5 more stars if they keep with the current coloration of the game. They could do 5 more, which will be red stars. Which is going to be sad, because I actually like the color of the blue ones. Actually would have been cool if they would have maxed at that, and they still do. But that could change. If they tweak that, say, in time. Because that's the only rarity higher that they have, like, a coloration already existing for. Because it goes white, then green, then blue, then purple, then orange, then light blue, then red. And, of course, we don't have red stars yet. And there's no color above that currently. And technically, red isn't even above it. It's, like, a really weird category. Like, red was supposed to originally just be boss troops, but then also, like, encompass some other things. And now it's, like, a weird in-between. But, it's generally considered the same rarity of Mythic, but also simultaneously a rarity above Mythic. It's, like, a weird in-between. You'll have it by this weekend? Nice. Unfortunately, we don't have a really grindable event this weekend. We have Broken Spire raids, unless you're changing it. Which, if nothing else, Broken Spire raids, great time to go use N. Hey, we just got Empress. Oh yeah, wasn't Tyrion just talking about his lack of Empresses? We just got one. Got it. Oh yeah, I did see that Puzzle Quest 3 had an update thingy. I didn't bother reading it. I saw it in my Steam feed. Cake food skins. I saw the little dragon cake looking pet thingy. Looked pretty cute. Oh yeah, it's already 1 year old, gosh. Well, technically 2 years old. So that means I haven't played Puzzle Quest 3 in an entire year now. It has been 1 whole year since we've played. Aww. Yeah, it's been a year now. I don't know, I might need to revisit that at some point. I did have a lot of fun with it within that year. It's just the grind got to be way too much. You finally have every pet in game owned and maxed, even the money pets? And I assume you mean in Gems of War. Hey, what platform were you playing on again? Because what platform you're on determines how many money pets there are. I think PC Mobile has the highest price. Well, not really. Because the Steam one generally goes on sale for a lot. It's mostly the Android pet that's always 50 bucks. Hey, come on, is Puzzle Quest 3 boot camp? I don't know, we'll definitely need to do a revisiting stream of it or something at some point. See what the state of the game is like a year and a half later. The main thing that drove me away from Puzzle Quest 3 is just the amount of dailies, though. Which is so weird, because I feel like Gems of War balances the daily system very well. But in Puzzle Quest 3, they just trashed all that out the window. Like, the amount of things they do perfectly in Gems of War. Like, a lot of flaws are still in Gems of War, but there are some things they do really, really well. And every single one of those, they didn't do. in Puzzle Quest 3. At least most of them. Though, one good thing they did bring over from Puzzle Quest 3 is they are bringing a couple of features from Puzzle Quest 3 to Gems of War. And one that was pretty decent that they did are Power Gems. Power Gem was actually a feature they originally introduced in Puzzle Quest 3 more so, or even just the Puzzle Quest series in general, that they actually brought over to Gems of War. And overall, it's been pretty good. There's been some controversial Power Gems, most notably Lycanthropy. Jesus, with controversial stats effect in general. But, I don't know, overall I feel like this has been pretty good addition. I feel like the best feature they could ever bring over from Puzzle Quest 3, though, if they were to bring over, like, any feature, it is co-op. There was actually real-time co-op in Puzzle Quest 3. It didn't function too well, but when it did function, it was a lot of fun. Because you could group up with up to 1, 2, 3 other friends, or, you know, for a 4-person lobby, and do co-op battles. And if they could make some kind of mini-game in Gems of War, not for every piece of content, but like one particular mini-game mode, where you can co-op up to 4 people, but still do it solo if you wanted to, that'd be so much fun. And that'd probably be the best feature they could ever bring over from that game. The biggest issue would be the coding required for it. Because I have a feeling they will never get that down properly for the infrastructure of Gems of War. But if they could, it'd be so much fun. I'm not sure exactly how you would make it work, though. You would definitely have to do it differently than how they did it in the other game. Because Gems of War plays drastically differently. Because the way that it basically worked in Puzzle Quest 3 is everyone was fighting the same enemies, but they all had their own independent board. So, for example, our 4 enemies would all be the same, but all of our 4 troops would be different, and all of our 4 boards would be different. We'd all have our own unique 4 troops, our own unique board, but the enemies would still be the same. I'm not sure how you would scale that with Gems of War, though. Because they would definitely have to change how that system works a little. It would still be cool to see. Because I hate games that, like, over-dependent on, like, having to do co-op, like, raids and stuff like that. But one thing I do like is having the option to. Like, I hate games that make it, like, the meta is to go group up with, like, 3 other people and then play. Otherwise, you're losing loot. Like, I hate games like that. But to have it as an option, like, hey, you could group up and it's, like, fun to do. It's not, like, the best loot you're gonna get, but it's still good loot. Like, that's balanced pretty well whenever it's like that. I'm just not a fan when a game makes it, like, the only way to get, like, the best rates. Is you have to group up with 3 other people and do it with, like, super efficient anything. Because then you constantly need 3 other people to, like, play the game efficiently at any time. Which is not good. The only Puzzle Quest 3 feature you want is the ability to resume the game without losing when the game crashes. You can kind of do that in Gems of War now. The way that Gems of War works is it basically checks with the server after the battle. So, for example, if I lost connection right now and did a bunch of moves, it would still let me do all those moves. The second it would start to block me out is right here before this reward screen, before it would give me any loot. Because it sees that we're offline, so before it gives us any loot, it will want to wait until we're online just to make sure we're not, like, hacking anything or anything similar. So we would be kind of stuck there. But as soon as we load in, like, right here, we could lose connection right now and still play out this entire fight. The only time when a disconnect would start to do anything is right when we start to get any kind of payout, like right here. Like right there, when it did that little small load. Like, that small load would be an infinite load if we did not have, if we weren't connected to the internet, or if we lost connection. But you would still get the loot for this battle. Like, if we disconnected right now, finish this battle, we're stuck on that screen for like 5 minutes, and then got our connection back, we would still get the loot for this battle. There are some cases where you don't within the game, but for most fights you still do. Do I have any news on the faction pets? I don't think we have an exact date yet until when it's happening. Unless someone saw something on the forum that I'm not aware of. The last I checked, I did not see an official, like, oh, we'll have it fixed by this date. Like, they're definitely working on it, but I don't think we have an official date as to when it will be fixed. If I had to guess, probably by next Monday, Tuesday or so. I don't think we have, like, a proper, like, oh, it'll be fixed by this date kind of statement yet. Yeah, I'm not sure how they messed that up. I think that's the first time this ever happened. Also, hello, Logic Slayer. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Also, hello, Clip on video, say hi. Welcome, welcome, as well as Defiant. Been having trouble with the phone and just got back home. Also, I noticed that too. I'm not sure if it's because the other phone I'm using is a little bit older one. Because normally when I check Gems of War, I do it for my older phone, not the newer one. But it goes black screen a lot. Like, not exactly black screen, but it gets, like, stuck up on a screen where it, like, deloads all the assets. It looks very strange. It's not like Crash, but it's almost like mini soft locked. I just assumed it was my phone, but maybe it's just happening across the game. I haven't had any issue on PC in a while. Honestly, I have not had any issue with the PC version in a very, very long time. Not counting bugs, but, you know, like, major, like, any kind of, like, performance issue. Bugs, there's been plenty. But actual performance issues, I have not had any on PC in, well, it feels like a couple years. Aside from when you win very quickly during Vault events and stuff like that, but that's always going to happen. Pretty much whenever you're winning ultra quick, you should always restart the game about every hour or so. Particularly relevant when you're doing Vault events and such. Otherwise, it'll slow down the rate of your Paloozas. Hello, Bill Warhammer. Welcome, welcome. But I hope they fix the faction pet soon. We need that little pet. Actually, what even was the pet of? I don't remember now. We got to see it in the files, but I completely forget what it was. Pretty sure it was something cool. Actually, never mind. We can see it right now. I forgot. Hold up. It's actually in the game. We just don't own it. Hold up. We don't even need to check a third-party source. I could check it right here. There it is. Oh, yeah, the Firefox. Ah, Firefloof. Yeah, they couldn't name it Firefox because, yeah, there's some... Actually, does Firefox browser... Are they even still in business now that I think about it? Did Firefox ever get canceled? Or not canceled in that sense, but, you know. Did they ever get, like, you know, Google, like, consuming them as the behemoth of a company that they are? But whatever did happen to Firefox? Is that even a browser anymore? I know it used to be. I never used it. But didn't it kind of do what Internet Explorer did and kind of, like, rebrand itself or something? I don't remember. Yeah, Firefloof's kind of funny. But yeah, they couldn't name it Firefox because of the copyright, probably. Because even if they're out of business, I'm pretty sure there's still, like, copyright holders for the namesake. Oh, it is still around. Interesting. Oh, is it basically like Bing these days? Where, like, it exists, but, you know, it, like, barely exists. Is it in, like, the Bing category? Like, relative to Bing, are we talking, like, same as Bing, better than Bing, worse than Bing? Because as I recall, it's like Bing or worse. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've used Bing. I think I was in, like, high school. And for whatever reason, like, the computers in one of my classes were all, like, defaulted to Bing instead of Google. And it was so annoying. Because you had to keep Googling, or you had to... Googling. But you basically had to search for Google in Bing to go to Google. Which is always funny. Actually, wasn't that brought up as, like, the most searched search term on Bing at one point? Because I think their most searched search term was Google on Bing. So that they could use Google instead of Bing. Because I'm pretty sure data came out on that at one point. Where the most searched search term on Bing was Google. To get out of Bing. That's probably the last time I ever used a Firefox browser too was in high school. Because a lot of the Macintosh computers used Firefox. Probably because it couldn't use some of the other ones, because it's Mac. But it had like Firefox and something else on it. Whatever that one, like, Explorer... I think it was called Safari. I think that's like a Mac-only program. But it had, like, Safari and Firefox on it. Which is Safari, I think, was Mac-only, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't recall it ever being on anything else. And Firefox, I guess, just worked better on a Mac. Let's see. Oh, so that's probably the last time I've ever used a Mac anything as well. Was in high school. I've never actually owned a Mac product ever. Not any of their phones, not any of their computers, not any of their laptops, not any of their... What else do they make? They probably make a lot of other technology these days. Not any of their watches, not any of their smart fridges. Not any of their smart TVs. I don't know, what else do they make? I'm pretty sure they've made, like, every piece of technology by now. Do you still have an AOL email? I used to for the longest time. I finally moved away from AOL email at like 19. And I switched everything over to Gmail. Because I had a feeling in the next decade AOL might be dead. And to my surprise, AOL a decade later, not dead. Barely, but still not dead. I'm actually very surprised. Actually, did Yahoo ever die? I can't remember if it has. But yeah, AOL isn't dead, but, you know, it's getting really close. Give it another decade when everyone who's, like, 70-something dies. Hey, pet orb. And there'll be, like, no one using AOL left. Let's see. That's a minion orb right there. I know my dad still uses AOL. He's 60-something. I want to say 69, 70? 68? Somewhere around there. Some kind of high 60, low 70 number. He's, like, the only person I know who still uses AOL. I was like, catch you later, Chad. Thanks for stopping by. Like, I can't think of a single millennial that uses AOL. I know of a lot of millennials that did use AOL. Because that was kind of our childhood. But, I'm not sure of any that still use it to this day. What does the Court of Fox's quest graphic look like? Wait, why is it glitched? I'm not even sure which quest graphic you're referring to. You mean like the kingdom symbol? Oh, so does anyone still use MySpace? Doesn't it still technically exist? I never made an account back when it was a thing. Mostly because I pretty much just never use any social media. I feel like the internet has gone downhill over the years, though. I feel like it was in its prime in, like, mid-2000s to, like, 2010. Like, early mid-2000s to 2010 was, like, peak internet. It definitely feels like it's been on a slight decline since then. Ah, very useless one. Let's see. 126. Yahoo's value in 2020, 7.4 billion. Oh, it's still worth something then. They're doing something right. It's always funny when you see that, like, what is Bing? And then you'll, like, check their net worth, and it's like, oh, that's a very big number. They're definitely doing something. Actually, they have a really interesting way of making money. I saw, like, a little mini documentary on some point a while back, and I almost completely forget, like, everything about it. But I do recall that they actually don't make most of their money from the search engine itself. It's from, like, a lot of proprietary software that goes with it. Where it's kind of like a service that they provide, but it's not, like, the main way that they're making their money. Kind of like how Google can end up doing, like, 1 billion failed projects and still stay profitable. Like, Bing almost has a system like that, but on a much lower scale. I feel like there's like the Silicon Valley mindset, though. Burn money until you stop burning money. You wonder how much Tencent is worth? Oh gosh. They own like everything now. Like I think they own like 80% of the mobile market. Okay, maybe less than that. But they own like a good share of the mobile market. They have their hands in like every big IP, pretty much. Oh, what did we just get? Another ingot. What do they own? They own parts of Discord. Let's see. So what do they have partial ownership on? They have Discord, League of Legends, and all their IPs. As well as just like pretty much the entirety of Riot Games. Epic Games. What else? There's several others. A lot of mobile companies I don't even remember all their names of. Because they have a really large mobile share. And probably several others I'm forgetting of. Do they have shares in Pokemon? Yeah, they might own part of Pokemon. I don't even remember. I'm not sure the full list these days. I know they keep buying more and more. Oh yeah, don't they also own almost all of TikTok? I've never used TikTok before. But they have like a really big share in TikTok, I believe. I still don't fully understand the point of TikTok or Instagram. Maybe if I use them at some point, I'll like understand what they are more. But maybe not in the case of TikTok, because I know what shorts are on YouTube, and I still don't understand the points of shorts. Like, do any of you watch shorts on YouTube? I'm pretty sure some of you do. Like, I can't find myself ever doing it, because the content is so short. I like long-form content. Like, I want my content to be hours long, not, like, 20 seconds. Like, I'd rather watch, like, 2 1-hour-long videos than, like, 50, 30-second videos. You watch a lot of comedy shorts? Yeah, it would probably work pretty good for comedy shorts. Like, I feel like the main thing that short-form content is good for is very concise information laid out very quickly, and comedy. I can't think of too many other things. But like information and comedy are like the two main things that would be good for. But yeah, then you just have endless swiping, though. It's like Tinder, but for videos. Does this video impress you within the first 3 seconds? Nope, we'll swipe left, or whatever the direction you do it in. What direction actually is no? I don't even remember. Is it left or right? I think it's left. Though in the case of that, it's pretty much just swipe up or down. Probably down. No, up. Because up would make it go down. How about shorter videos about shorts? I have probably seen more videos on TikTok than actual TikToks. If that makes any sense. Like, more videos critiquing the system of what TikTok is. Or even just looking over various TikToks and critiquing various things than actually watching TikToks. Even then, I still don't fully understand their appeal. Ah, we got the world. I keep thinking that the world is, in Gems of War, is the, Empress, because they both have a very similar image if you're looking at them quickly. Because they're both like a Naga-like snake that's both green. But one is really good and the other is completely useless. Key difference there. It always confuses me when I see the world because it looks so similar to Empress. Since they're both a green snake Naga-looking female creature. A 69 seconds short. Lester will like that. Is he still here? I'm not sure. Anyways, we're probably making this the last battle for now. Until tomorrow, we're unfortunately not getting anything particularly special for the pet. Just another repeat one. But I'll still be able to go grind a lot of Alkies if nothing else. We got good old raid event this weekend, which is a pretty tame one. Actually, we could almost do all of it on Friday night too. Ooh, nice 31 tribute. And of course the redeem code we handed out earlier. But anyways, guys, we'll end it here. We will be doing a midday stream tomorrow, probably starting around noon Eastern Standard Time. So, like, what is that, 15 hours from now or so? And do that for several hours. We're probably going to mostly be questing in that other game to keep it a little bit more interesting, so we'll actually keep doing different content. And we'll read some of the dialogue. I'm not sure if we're going to read all of it, because it's a lot of dialogue. Otherwise, we'll be reading, like, all stream. We'll be doing a lot more, like, this story-based content next stream for the RuneScape thingy. Keep it a little bit more interesting, just so we're not fighting the same enemy for like half the stream, which ended up happening last time because of bad RNG. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will catch you guys later, and stay safe out there. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.